showing of the Midnight Broadcast Network on YouTube. My name is Slade84, and today we have the Bluegrass State 300 at the Kentucky Speedway for the Ronin Imports National Series, the Xfinity Series for the Midnight Broadcasting Network. And it should be a good show. While the track layout, as my two co-commentators will agree, I think the track layout here is pretty wacky, so it should be an interesting race. And Workman, you were very hard on that as we were just talking. Can you please explain what you think we will see here tonight at the Kentucky Speedway?
Well, first off, just like the actual track itself, I mean, you got kind of like the opposite of Texas Motor Speedway, where turns 1 and 2 are so much higher banked than turns 3 and 4. But not only that, there is this absolutely funky front straightaway here. Like you got the bottom of that yellow line on the apron that just painted and drifts up for some reason, and sometimes it just plays games with you and guys is going down the straightaway. It's like, okay, do I follow the seams in the racetrack, or do I follow the yellow line? So that's just small little brain games that this track plays. Also, turns 1 and 2. I know 704, they've done a good job at fixing the issue at a lot of these tracks where you hit the apron and spin out. But here in Kentucky, especially in turns 1 and 2, you just slightly hit that apron a bit and it will whip you right around. So those are going to be the two biggest key places on this racetrack.
Yeah, I will say they did do a fantastic job at when you hit the apron, you just easily spin out. That was a problem in turns 1 and 2 at Kentucky, and for a lot of the tracks in NASCAR Heat 3 and games past. But it seems that in the front stretch and partially in the turn 1 and 2, it's still kind of there. So we should be able to see that possibly coming to be a factor tonight here. But Jay, once again, the usual co-commentator, how do you think tonight will go at the Kentucky Speedway?
I'm just hoping that we have a nice, good, clean race. I think the track, especially the front stretch, how Cody was saying, how the line kind of moves up and down the track, seems like it's not really consistent. So we'll see a bunch of cars probably going above and below that. Maybe probably see 3 cars below that, 3 wide. That'd be interesting, because that's a tight space right there. So, but like he was also saying, the turn 1, like the flat, like how banked it is. Other than 3 and 4, it just seems like 3 and 4 is just, you can't have as much speed in there. So, yeah. So.
Yeah, it should be. However, we got about 14 cars here today, at the Kentucky Speedway for the Ronin Imports National Series. We have a new driver who is not a new face at MBN, but he is new to this season, and that is X Intimidator. He'll be in the number 8 car for JRM. Remember, he drove the 20 last season for Gibbs for the first half, and then decided to take a break, and he's back here tonight, Kentucky, and he's in the qualifying order, so that should be exciting. And I believe that's all the new guys we have here tonight. But right now, it does look like Marcus E. Dub is the fastest in his qualification. We are not done yet. We only have one lobby. A very good run, a 30.623 right now. On top is Marcus E. Dub. Well, it is a tradition here in the Ronin Imports National Series where we do our picks of the race. As you can see, qualifying lobbies are starting to go in, and Marcus' lap has already been broken. We'll get out in a second, but we do our picks of the race. I want you guys to pick who you think's going to win the race. As you guys now see, the qualifications. Who you think's going to win the race, and who you think's going to be a sleeper, which might mean, they usually, run mid-pack or run in the back, and you think they're going to do good here today, possibly get a win. We're going to start with you, Workman. Who is your sleeper, and who is your pick to win?
So I'm looking at the qualification list right now, and a guy who I thought I was going to pick, I don't see him anywhere. He may not be racing tonight, but I was going to say that I thought he's had an amazing run the past couple of weeks. Almost had that first win last week at Bristol, and unfortunately got caught up in some lap traffic. I was going to say Titans, but it doesn't look like he's racing tonight.
He is on a plane home. So Yeah, Titans usual regular here, who has
Yeah.
been amazing. Started out in the defaults, won a race, and then now he is in the Xfinity Series trying out customs, and he's doing fantastic under the Roush Fenway powered number 99. But so they weren't Workman's pick, but continue with your
Yeah.
picks.
Yeah, so I guess so without that, I think I would say definitely something I'm going to be watching out for. He had a great run last week, pulled some amazing strategy to finish second. JRM Keffer, I think he doesn't always have the best qualifying runs, but he's always really good at being able to move through the pack and get up there towards the front. So I'll be watching out for him. But then obviously, he's won the class of this series for about the past month now, Fluffy. I mean, you've got to consider him as a pick to win every single week.
Yeah, I think last week everyone's pick was Fluffy. I think we all had different sleepers, but everyone's pick was Fluffy. So now we're going to go to you, Jay. Give us a sleeper and give us your pick to win.
My sleeper this week is going to have to be A-Trout. I think he's just been having a rough couple of weeks. I think Kentucky's a different little track, so I think he'll show some speed here tonight. Didn't really qualify too well, but you don't have to qualify well to race good here. But for my race pick, I got to go with Voltage, his teammate in the 20. So I think he hasn't been in victory lane in a while. I think he's kind of wanting to get back there. So I got Voltage as my race winner.
So you had Voltage and A-Trout. Who did you have? Workman again. You had Fluffy and
Keffer.
Kefir. Fluffy and Kefir. I'm going to go with my pick to win. He always seems to have very consistent cars. And the Ford camp's been really strong. Just on a different team, I'm going to go with Mr. Diesel Rothgift here tonight with a great qualifying position, it looks like, around P3. We'll get the order for you guys here soon. But I think he's going to be good tonight. I think he'll get the win here in Kentucky. And my sleeper, I'm going to go with I wasn't prepared for this.
I know who if I had to pick a second sleeper, I know who I'd pick.
I'm going to go Smoke Z-Mog. I think he's been my sleeper for a while, for a good bit of races. But I think he's going to do Mid-Ohio. He showed the talent he has for that young age. He was able to claw his way to a P4 while running around pretty much third and even second at times for most of the race. So I think he's going to have a good, solid top 5 finish, bringing home for that as well Penske camp. But yeah, heard it here first. Our picks to win go as followed. Fluffy for Workman. You have Voltage for J Hyper. And Diesel Rothgift for me. And then our sleepers, you have Keffer for Workman. You have A-Trout for J Hyper. And you have Smoke Z-Mog for me.
Something I just want, just a quick shout out to throw in about Smoke Z-Mog. I don't know how many people in here keep an eye on the Carnation Cup leagues, but this past weekend made history over in that series, and he swept both of the gateway races in both of those series. So he is coming off of great momentum just from league racing here, online in general. And I'm a really strong believer that if you do really well in one league, that success can carry over into another. So he's definitely another guy to watch out for.
Indeed, indeed. So invites will be getting to the lobby here at 8:10 in approximately 3 minutes. Everyone get the starting order here, brought to you by Speedway Collective. Make sure you go check them out on Twitter at SC Fantasy Racing. They sponsor our default series, which you guys see on Thursday nights. But our starting order goes as followed. Row 1 is the Roush Fenway camp with Fluffy on pole and Marcus Edub P2. Row 2 brings the 22 of Diesel Rothgift and the 20 of Voltage. Row 3 is Deadpool in the 21. We'll close at the top 5. And from the back, we'll start P6. Row 4 brings Jerem Keffer and Smoke Z-Mog. Row 5 brings out X Intimidator and Red Leg to close out the top 10. Row 6 brings the 79 of Trey and the 61 of A-Trout. Row 7 brings the 18 of New World Order and the... I forgot what number he is. What number? Pates. I forgot what number he is. Is he 19?
I believe...
No,
maybe
19.
18.
He's not here.
Yeah,
Noko's
Noko's 19, and Pat Face is 18.
New World's 18.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Well, another Toyota. That's what Pat's will be. And if we see another Toyota, that will be Pat's ace. You guys will know as well. But that's your starting order. All 14 cars here tonight for the Bluegrass State 300 at Kentucky. And like I said, our picks are starting first, third, and fourth. And our sleepers are starting 7th, 8th, and 12th. Well, boys, we got about a minute to end bites. Here, we've already went over, done with all the pre-race stuff. It's about time to go racing. Any last words before we get into the lobby?
I'm gonna be really, really curious on how these guys have set up for this racetrack. As you said already, that turns 1 and 2, lots steeper banking than turns 3 and 4. So I'm curious, have guys set up their cars better to run turns 1 and 2? Have they set them up better to runs 3 and 4? I think after the first run or so here, and after seeing some guys run, we'll be able to tell really easily based off how guys do in each of those corners who has a better car in each corner.
Alright, so more time before we get into this lobby here, we're going to thank everybody who is showing their onboard camera for us tonight. It would be awesome if we could show you guys, like, top left, here's this dude's camera. Of course, we don't have that power. But tonight we'll be on the Jerem Keffer onboard and the number 7. We'll be watching that. I want to give a shout out to him. That is at Jason Keffer on YouTube. For give us the onboard, make sure to subscribe to him. I believe we'll have Redleg. Jay, you usually know what Redleg's YouTube is, correct? I forget what it is every time.
Yes, well, let me find it again.
Jay's the YouTube whiz.
His YouTube is Red League Racing -757 space PSN, and this is his YouTube channel.
Well, there you go. Those two guys will be our onboards for tonight. Usually we have Jay. Usually the two guys who are with me tonight are onboards for our Cup Series, but they decided to trade in. I have no idea where I was going with that. I'm sorry.
We decided to contribute more towards the broadcasting side of things compared to onboard. So
yes.
We'll go with that.
Jay, since Jay won the Xfinity Series Championship last year, it is mandatory that he is here for 100% of Xfinity races. He either be on the track or in the booth. That's the contract he signed when he took the championship home.
And I need to get some more. I'm just getting more broadcasting practice in for court. So.
That is correct. And I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Pat's ace in the 19 in the pre-race lobby already.
See, he ignores it. Look at that. But 19, Noco not running tonight, so Pat's going to fill in. He's going to fill in for Noco and be a fill-in driver for him, or he's just running the 19 tonight, just because only one of the only Toyotas available. I will say it's a good thing to be a Chevrolet driver in the Xfinity Series, because, dude, there's 3 Fords and, like, 6 Toyotas, and the rest are Chevrolets. So, Workman, that means you. Congrats on having your manufacturer 3/4 of the Xfinity field.
Thank you. I mean, it was opposite last year. I mean, in both series, we saw there were a lot of Fords, and it looks like, at least in this Xfinity Series, a little more balance in the Cup Series, but on the Road and Import Series, like, Chevrolet has really been the presence of the field here.
It'd be a shame. Alright, so once again, we'd like to apologize for this just fantastic blue screen we have here that you guys are looking at right now. Wish we could play like an ad every time we go to a blue screen.
The beautiful blue screen.
Just pop up like the league logo or something.
Yeah.
Get MBN to help you out.
Here's today's race, brought to you by Ronin Imports.
You getting us invites?
Oh my god.
I already just loaded in.
Oh, I forgot to invite Workman. Did you load in, Jay?
Yes.
Oh.
Here, I can back out. I think I can join through the party.
Good. Okay.
Let me see here if I can.
Oh.
You may
All right,
need
so-
an invite.
Can you join me to the party? You should be able to. Rookie mistake here in the booth, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize. But so one pace lap, 75 miles an hour, as they get their situations handled. Sorry about that, workman, by the way. Let's see. So we used to do a paint scheme
I'm not gonna
preview.
get in.
You're not going to get in? Oh my god.
Can't get in. Can't get back in. I thought you had it, Slade. I thought you had it, Slade.
We're going to go with the fact that people did not get broadcast invites.
Say Cody, see Workman didn't get a broadcast invite.
Just like last week or 2 weeks ago in the Cup
All right,
Series.
boys. We're gonna that's just between us and the people watching at home. We did not get invites.
Anyone who wants
Anybody
to come back
in this race listening to the broadcast, so they know who's where. It's crap. Okay, well, I think Capper watches. I think Capper listens to this broadcast while he races.
Yeah.
Okay, I was forced to say that by Slade. Don't hurt me.
Crap. Well, we'll take this time to thank our sponsors and affiliates once again, RINS Imports for sponsoring our National Series, and Speedway Collective for sponsoring our Default Series, along with Pocono Raceway for being an affiliate with our Cup Series. We appreciate everything you guys do. And thank you, Jay Howard, for writing me out. See, I'm used to them just sending y'all invites.
Yeah. I'm not in this broadcast position too much, so.
Usually, that's what kind of broadcast is. One person sends invites to everybody, and they're fine. But it's in between us.
I'll send him the invite. Finally.
Yes, that's your job.
I didn't realize he needed one.
God.
Usually, I never invite him through the race.
This is what I get for missing the booth for a week. Making rookie mistakes. Oh my god, Jay.
You guys are at you out.
Jay, you'll be deducted 15 cut points for that move.
For an Xfinity broadcast? But...
Yes,
I don't even want to be here, man.
It's very logical. Yes, you do. It was in your contract.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
No, okay, that makes sense. Alright, while we wait for people to set up the lobby, you people in the chat, comment in the chat who you guys think will win the race, and we will give it a shout out, read it out. Pretty sure Fluffy's going to have 95% of the votes, but we'll go along with it.
Don't forget me this time.
Yeah, this is why we have Jay. He's supposed to get you.
I didn't get an invite this time.
Nobody's got an invite, Jay.
Oh, they paused it at like 4 seconds.
The struggles of being in the booth with Jay Happer.
What? You love me here. Oh, don't lie. There's the
Alright,
invite.
there's the invites. Shoot, I hit the wrong screen. Please tell me that if I might just do that again. Alright, brethren.
Alright, loading in. Loading in.
Shoot, I forgot to send an invite.
I got him, dude.
You got him an invite? Okay, I actually didn't forget. I'm sitting here sending him one now. Dude, I'll send you 2. Alright,
I'll send you 3.
So you're good, workman. I don't want to have to get.
Yes, I am popping in right now. I am loading in.
All right, heck yeah.
some adjustments being made after
All
the
right,
first
we out
pace
here.
lap.
I'll be watching the Jason Keffer onboard. Jay, if you could watch the red leg onboard, and Workman join me in watching the Keffer onboard.
Well, H-Shot had a live stream up too, so I'm watching both of them.
Oh,
There he is. H-Shot's up now too.
look at that. All right, so tonight, as usual,
Trout Racing. _Trout Racing.
So as usual, we go to the paint scheme preview for tonight, and we do it right as the pace lap's going on, because why not? Right here you see pole setter Fluffy. With his new, he's usually in a white and red, but today he's in a black and blue. Number 16 Ford Mustang. To his outside, Mark Z-Dub, it's in that usual black, white, and red. I can't have it on good angle. Red. Number 6. Smoke Z-Mog is going with the new paint looks with off-axis paint. And Red Leg with the classic number 60, along with Trey with his classic 79 with a new sponsor. So as they come out of turn 4, they come up to the restart zone. Number 16 of Fluffy, the number 6 of Marcus will release to the green flag, and we are underway here at Kentucky. As you can see already, that weird line on the front stretch might have messed some people's heads, but they're going to keep it in turn 1, and as they get the turn, already a car loose in the back.
Oh, Marcus hit the wall just a little bit.
9 in the wall, 8 to 12 had to check up. They're going to continue into turn 3.
That really sucks too. Marcus, with his best qualifying effort of the season, started outside front row. He's already back to 5th, but he's trying to make a charge back on the inside of the 20 car voltage.
Now Pat's ace, and when they know him as well, he started P14 already up to the 10th position in just a lap. So the 19 obviously has some speed here tonight, trying to get to the front.
Looks like we got about the top 7 cars. Looks like they're single file, but about 8th on back. We got this crazy racing going on right now. They're 2 by 2 by 2, and the more they save side by side, those top 7 are just going to keep scooting away.
Yeah, there's a big pack of cars here, led by Trey on the inside, the 19 of Pat's on the outside. 79 gets kind of an odd entry going into turn 1. Sorry, I saw a message pop up. And there are 3 wide. This is for the 11th position, and they're batting like it's the last lap, and they're batting for the lead.
Can't do that too long though, because look at that. They've lost about a second and a half, almost 2 seconds. Like the guys are towards the back to those top 7. So, and plus, not only are they losing ground, they are also just using those tires up. So I think you can be like, hey guys, it's the beginning of the race. Listen, let's take it easy here a little bit. Let's save those tires up a little bit. Remember, it's a long race.
Yeah, already you see the 16 of Fluffy out to a very good size, or actually just a pretty good size lead with him in the 2nd place car of Diesel. But those two, bumper to bumper, and they're trying to go away from the rest of the field.
One of the guys we didn't talk about pre-race, he's sitting up there right up in 3rd, Deadpool. He started about, I think, maybe 5th or 6th or 7th, something like that, and he's already up to 3rd, and he's closing in on that 22 car.
Come on, Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool looking to have already a strong run today. Oh, we have 1 car spinning in the back. That's the 60 of Red Leg around the backstretch. And that will not bring a caution out, so we'll stay green.
Out front, it looks like about the top 5 really tight single file racing going on right now.
Yeah, 20 of voltage. He did qualify P3, P4. Qualified P4 right now into the 5th position. Did get passed by the. It's so hard. We already have a car actually who has blown an engine, backed out of the race as number 18 of the road order. Qualified P13 today, and will not make it far into this event.
Pass for 3rd right now. Marcus D-Dub, he's trying to do all he can to gain back what he lost on that initial restart. Back up to 3rd right now, made that pass on Deadpool for the 3rd position, and now he's starting to close back to the back bumper, that 22 car of Diesel.
Yeah, Ford's already looking strong here tonight as you have Fluffy in first, and Diesel in second, and Marcus E-Dub in third. And then you go to the next Ford is kind of in the back, you could say. Yeah, the next Ford is a pretty long ways away. And it is I want to say it's P9 Smoke Z-Mog. Or P10 Smoke Z-Mog. P9.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Yeah, I think he's back there. We got about 9 through 12 that are a little bit more strung out. They're kind of falling off the back of this front group of cars right now. But you got about 3 packs going on right now. You have that front pack of, it was 5 cars. You got Voltage falling off the back of that now. And you got this next pack of 3, all junior motorsports race cars with Keffer from the back.
Keffer just nailed the wall. Yeah, 7 nails the wall. That does check up the number 9 of from the back. Hurts both of them. But one JRM car does benefit out of it, and that's the 8 of Exterminator.
How about, something going on with the 20 of Volts right now. Is he pitting right now? I'm not sure, but he's down pit road.
I will say the 20 of Voltage.
He had quite a wide entry.
The 20 of Voltage did warn me pre-race that the car is very good for about 12 to 15 laps. And then it doesn't really fall off, but it does decline. But these guys right now have 9 laps to go on their fuel and 12 in the stage. Now coming to 11, so fuel strategy, or he might have just did a little short pit here as the 79 brings his machine down pit road, and he'll be the second car to pit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, looks like this pit window, guys will definitely have to make a pit stop here in this stage, but this pit window just a little bit shorter than the stage, so it definitely gives a wide variety of strategy for guys to pit, whether they want to pit right as soon as that window opens, if they want to split the stage up in half, or maybe they want to go as long as possible, maybe just take a splash of gas at the end.
The 16 and the 6, the Roush Thermite cars bring their machines down pit road along with the 21 of Deadpool and the 12 of Smoke Z-Mog. Also pits from the 8th position. So that leaves right now.
Got the leader too.
Oh, the leader of 22, I believe.
It's actually Fluffy. He's down pit road right now. He's in his box.
Yeah, but you said strategy might come into play. I will say these tires might be the strategy factor, not even fuel. Right now, it looks like Keffer.
The 22 just hit pit road.
Yes, he does, and that makes your leader, along with, actually, he brings some more cars with him. The 8 of Exterminator with the 61 of H-Route. That gives your lead to the 9 of From the Back, along with the 19 of Pates and the 7 of JRM Keffer, your top 3. As you see, red leg right there has already made his green flag pit stop.
Yeah, he's come out. I'm not sure. I think right now your lead pack right now, guys that may have not pitted yet, is right behind him. The 9, the 19, and the 7. 19 may be coming down pit road right here, and it looks like, yep, he will. And I believe that leaves just the 9 of From the Back and the 7 car of Keffer as the 2 guys who have yet to pit so far in the stage.
I'll say JRM Keffer is using his advantages with a clutch shifter, or a clutch and stick shift to his advantage. He is full blown off the gas in 4th gear, coasting, going into each turn. So expect the 7 and possibly the 9 to stretch your own fuel here.
And tell you what, this wouldn't be the first week we've seen this. Remember, just last week at Bristol, he didn't necessarily use the clutch a lot, but he was the only guy at the end of that race last week at Bristol to stay out. And it wasn't really necessarily making it on fuel, it was making it on tires. So Keffer definitely making it known that he's going to pull some very aggressive strategies here.
Trying to keep a monitor on the 7 car's right rear tire. It is wearing a lot more than the right front. So we'll monitor how much percent he is losing per lap, and then put that into the equation of how many laps are left. It appears he will lose, on average, this lap right here, as he just completed it, he will lose around 4% of right rear tire per lap. And with 6 to go, he's on track to blow a right rear going into turn 3 on the final lap.
Yeah, that's just one thing you got to think about too. Remember, pits are going to be close as soon as that leader takes 2 to go, and with the damage models on, like it doesn't matter if you have damage turned on or off. If you pop a tire here, you're going to get damage and you're going to suffer some sort of aero speed and lose about a second to maybe even 2 seconds a lap. So definitely something that 7 car of Keffer needs to think about. You know, is it too early to try to push it? But also, you know, maybe right now he's just like, I'm not maybe concerned about pushing it to the end of stage 1. Maybe I just want to see how far I can go in one stage. Maybe this is something that he can learn for later.
As the 9 from the back will make his pit stop for stage 1, leaving Jerem Keffer as the only car to have not pit this stage. Remember what we said, even now fuel, it looks like he will be around a lap or 2 short on fuel. So Jerem Keffer going to try and just, I guess he's probably going to pit the next lap or 2 probably. The 7 of Keffer. But he's very slow.
Yeah, definitely way too early. But you know, hey, you know, it is beginning of the race. Maybe he's just trying to see what he can save. And like, as a positive out of this is, you know, he is one of the only guys right now that knows how far he can truly go on fuel.
That's correct. As you see him right now, he just got passed by Fluffy. Fluffy just unlapped himself, as did the 22 in this pack of cars right here. Jerem Keffer still your leader, but the cars are starting to unlap themselves as they get around this 7 machine.
Going to be quite the battle here for the end of this stage here. As soon as Keffer pits, you know, I don't see how he'd be able to go to the end of this stage, just seeing how quickly his fuel and tires are falling off. That top 5, I mean, Fluffy and what's going to have the stage 1 probably if Keffer can't make it, and maybe the 22 car is going to get second here. But it's going to be quite the battle for 3rd through 5th there.
Yeah, here comes Keffer into turn 1. We are monitoring his tires very easily here. As 2 laps to go, we are right now on 2 to go.
So pits are close right now, and he is in ultra save mode right now.
He has almost no percent left in that right rear. So the 7 were to spin around here, it would not be a surprise. But also running out of gas. He is fairly low on gas. 7's out.
Yeah, I think he's out right now. Now, I guess the benefit right now, yes, he is on the final lap, which means he won't go a lap down, but it'll be interesting to see how many... Oh, when he gets on the apron.
No, there went the right rear. There went the right rear. Jerem Keffer goes around by himself for in stage 1. And here comes Fluffy. It looks like he will take the lead, and as you said, Workman,
we've seen this before, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Saw this last week. We saw this last week, the 7 car, he puts it extremely hard in the end of that stage, and Fluffy ended up getting around him on the last lap, and only difference is, you know, like, what's this going to cost him for the rest of this race?
Yeah, Keffer was probably, so he's out of gas and out of fuel, and a gas and out of right rear tire, so he will be hurting tremendously. He's right now in the 6th position, however, so unless 9th, he's now back to 9th.
Stage end right here.
Yeah, that is Fluffy all by himself, which has been the statement for the past couple weeks. Fluffy, stage 1 winner with Diesel Rothgib. Looks like he will bring home P2. The rest.
And Deadpool in 3rd, Marcus 4th, and Voltage in 5th. Those guys are going to get stage points.
Yep, good run for Deadpool in that 3rd position. Nobody's sleeper or pick to win.
Well, tell you what, I'm going to be interested to see, like, what the distance of stage 2 is going to be, because stage 1, that was 22 laps. So we know that Keffer can go 21 laps. So if that's how many laps there's going to be here in stage 2, I won't be surprised if we see him try to pull the same thing.
For sure, Keffer, as most people know about him, he is all about strategy. He will find strategy and try to make that work. Any chance it's even there's a small chance for it being possible. And you saw right there, he was a lap, pretty much 3/4 of a lap short on fuel and a lap short on tires. So he will restart 13th after running in the 6th position before he started saving fuel.
Back to green.
Yes, we're back green here in stage 2, and this will be a 19 lap stage. So it looks like fuel might not be a problem. Tires perhaps, but as you can see, Fluffy already getting up to a pretty good lead over here of the 22 and 21 as they battle for second.
Tell you what, though, you got these guys that are going to be in the middle of the pack. They all saw how easily this whole field got strung out here. I think with that being said, in stage one, you're going to see guys be pretty aggressive here these first couple starts, or at least these first couple laps. You know, just trying to get every position they can get. You got, like, from second on back, they're just side by side by side.
Even to the rear of the field, it is true. But the 20 and the 21 on the inside, trying to make the way around the 22 and the 6. As Voltage trying to push
Pretty
Deadpool.
Wide, little bump. 22 got up the hill a little bit. I think he got a little bit of a shot from the 6 car of Marcus, and that backed that outside lineup. That 22 and the 6 car, they are just going backwards.
Yep, Diesel Roth gave him the 22. Did restart in the second position, excuse me, and is already back to the 8th position, it appears.
I talked a little bit about him earlier, didn't really talk about him pre-race, but Deadpool, he is up to second right now. Towards the beginning of stage one there, it looked like he has some pretty good short run speed. It'd be interesting that this is the highest that he's been. If he can catch up to the back of that 16 car of Fluffy, who so far has been the dominant car once again in this race.
Yeah, Fluffy has almost every track figured out in the Xfinity Series on NASCAR 84, and of course that will translate to the Ronin Imports National Series for MBN. But Deadpool going to go a little high in turns 3 and 4, possibly get around the corner, but the 12 of Smoke Z-Mog's going to shut the door on him, and Smoke's going to take third, and Voltage will take second.
Yeah, the other guy coming up through the field, he was actually towards the back of that pack that was about 9th through 12th there in that first stage. Must have done some really great pitch strategy or had a great stop, whatever, because he's up here in the top 3. We haven't seen him here at all so far in this race, and there he is looking to the inside of that 20 of Voltage.
Yep, the 12 of Smoke Z-Mog. He is in a custom car, but he is representing the Team Penske camp as on the 22. Over the 8 and the 9 makes some contact. In the back of the pack, that is Exterminator, and from the back, remember, this is Exterminator's first race in the series this season. First race at MBN since season 1. We're at 3/4 of the season. So we'll interested to see how he is tonight.
Another guy, too, is creeping into the big picture a little bit. That 61 car, A-Trout. This is the first time he's crept his way into the top 5. So definitely we're seeing a lot of comers and goers so far in the second stage.
A lot of comers and goers. You remember another name out here, Pat's A, started 14th. He's up to 6th. So the Toyota camp has risen to the occasion as they're running right now P2, P5, and P6. Oh, 12 got a little shot there from the 21. And as Heat 4 goes, and we are 4 wide for the second position.
Oh,
Pat's Ace in the bottom. Oh, the 21 not close, 61.
Car. He's going to be the big winner out of this.
Yeah, Pat's Ace, what a move. Sorry, it was the battle for third. Excuse me, battle. It was
third.
Yeah, heck of a pass by the 19. It was the battle for third. I called it battle for second. Battle for third, though, but the biggest loser in that was Smoke Z-Mog, as he went from the third position, I keep calling him second, third position, all the way back to 7th.
I'll tell you what, though, as strong as this draft package is supposed to be here on NASCAR Heat 4, and I mean, part of it, too, is like, you know, you got these guys from 2nd through 7th who are really racing hard. That 16 car of Fluffy, once again, it doesn't matter if he's got a big pack behind him or not. He is just pulling away with ease.
See, if I was Fluffy, I feel like this would be boring to me. He literally just pulls out in front by himself, just runs laps by himself almost every race we do. But, you know, he loves being in first, though. You know, he loves it.
Oh, yeah, and, you know, especially, like, when we have these tracks like this where, you know, we'll go to, like, the same track for the Cup Series, Pocono Cup Series, and this Ronin Series, like, those are the ones that he tends to do really well in, and it translates when we run the Tuesday night races here. Usually, if he has a really good car here in the Ronin Series, his car is just as good, if not better, in the Cup Series.
So right now on board with the Toyota number 19 of Pat's Ace. We're started 14th, now at the 3rd, slowly clawing his way up here. One thing you mentioned about Pat's Ace, he is a Kentucky native. So it's only fitting to see this number 19 up front here, or in the top 5, excuse me, at Kentucky. You know he loves this track, and you know he wants to do well at his home track. Tell I can be at Atlanta.
Yeah.
If I don't get a top 5 at Atlanta, you know I kind of feel disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, he got a little loose there off that corner, but he's run that 20 car voltage down a little bit ever since that pack got separated a bit after racing. So definitely showing some great mid-run, long-run speed here.
Yeah, you can kind of tell now everyone's kind of getting to their respective spots. You know, that's where they're going to run for most of the race. Voltage keeping that second spot. We haven't talked about him really at all for the second stage. He's kind of just been sitting there chilling in the second position. Like I said, he told me pre-race that he had a good car for about 12 to 15 laps. Oh, did we just have a wreck in the back? We did. The 21 of Deadpool goes around the 7.
Big wreck. Big wreck.
Oh, great
Oh,
wreck.
and another car right in front of him in about 6th place. Someone went head-on into the wall. That
It was
may have
the
been
12.
either Z-Mark or, yeah.
Looked like the 12 was trying to save it, and the 7 completely got in the back of him. And it looked like the 7, or the 12 was all over the place trying to save it from the wreck that just happened in front of him. The 21 wreck in front of him. And he was on the apron and came back up in front of the 7, and the 12 went head on to the outside wall. But for there not to be a caution for pretty much a 3 or 4 car wreck, it's just surprising, to say the least.
Yeah.
But with
that's all happened. With all that happening, we got 2nd through 5th. They've merged into another single file pack again. You got 20 of Voltage, 19 of Pats, who's caught up to that 20 car, the 22, who's actually looking to the inside of 19, and the 61 of 8 Trout. So curious if these guys want to get single file and try to run down that leader and Fluffy, but so far that 22, he doesn't look content to ride a single file. He wants to make his way up through the field.
I believe all the Toyotas are pitting this lap. That's what it looks like. 19. Yep.
There they go.
Everybody in this top 6 except for the 22 of Diesel.
Oh, and 16 car of Fluffy. He's down as well.
Yep. That
and
lap
tell you what, you just saw him. You just saw him go by in that screen too. Up in the 2nd position, you got Keffer, and we saw he could make it 19 laps on fuel and tires with no problem with the way that he was saving. So I'd be very worried if I was these guys that are pitting right now.
Remember last time, before he had to go drastic save mode, the top 5 were the only ones to get their lead lap back. So if Kevin does not have to go drastic save mode, I'm about to blow a tire, you know, he should be fine for almost lapping for almost the entire field. But it should be fun. He right now, like we said, once again, has
that too, and even when he was in drastic save mode, it wasn't until about 3 laps to go in that stage, which would have been lap 19, when they were finally able to unlap themselves. So I think even if he does go that pace of saving, they may still be trapped a lap down.
22 Diesel Rothgate will bring his Ford Mustang down pit road, and that leaves Jerem Keffer. He should be around, right now with 3 to go in the stage, he's around a quarter of a lap to half a lap short on gas, and is around the factor where he's going to be good on tires.
Definitely, those leaders that have pitted so far, definitely some different strategies that have been played. You got a 19 car of Pats right now, it's just coming off turn 2. About a second and a half behind him. I can't really tell which car that is. But then right behind them, you got Fluffy, who was the leader, and he was running about 2 seconds behind Pats, who was behind Fluffy coming in. So I'm not sure if Pats took 2 tires, maybe if Fluffy took 4, maybe if Pats didn't even take any tires at all, if he just took fuel. So there's definitely all types of strategy that's being played.
That's true. I would love to see, because unfortunately for NASCAR Heat 4, we don't have a running order in the top of our screen, just the race lineup. So we have to go up with other people's streams to see the order. We will confirm the finishing order for stage 2 for you guys here as the lap ends. We're going to have 1 to go in stage 2, and that's Jerem Keffer once again taking the green and white checkered, but hopefully he'll get to keep it. Off turn 2, Jerem Keffer. Number 7, the Brandt Chevy Camaro. Get finished P4 in the regular standings.
Yeah, these guys he's going to easily keep these guys that are trapped a lap down that we're leading. The 22 car is going to be a lap down, the 19.
He's out of gas.
The 16 of Fluffy, they are all trapped a lap down, but Keffer made it to the line.
Diesel Rothgeb was the first car 1 lap down, so he will get the free pass, and the lucky dog will go to the 22 of Diesel Rothgeb. And here is your stage 2 results here. And we have first and fifth at the moment, second through third. So there's 4 cars on the lead lap, and this is going to shake some stuff up when we tell you this top 5 here. So here's your top 5.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have P1, Jeremy Keffer, as you just saw. P2 is Smoke Zmog after being caught up in that wreck. P2 Smoke Zmog. Save the fuel. P3 goes to the 79 of Trey. And P4, last car on the lead lap, is the 60 of Redleg. Those are the only 4 on the lead lap. And your lucky dog car, who will now be on the lead lap once again, is Diesel Rothgeb, and he was able to finish P5. So that shakes up a lot of stuff. You have Smoke Zmog's been around.
Here's the other thing too. It looks like a lot of those guys, they must have only taken right side tires or fuel only, because looking at Keffer's stream, all those guys who were trapped a lap down, they have to pit. So we're only going to go back to green with about 5 cars on the lead lap.
I would love to see if anybody took the wave around. That would be a very interesting. I did see the 21 on pit road as the stage ended. That's why if you're watching the Jeremy Keffer onboard, you see there's a long black screen. And no, so yeah, only 5 cars on the lead lap. And as the front 4 right now, and Diesel Rothgeb in the back of the pack, but we are back underway, and it's Jeremy Keffer leading him in turn 1.
And if you are Fluffy right now, you are fuming. And now, not just because of this race, we've seen, how many races have we seen, whether it's been the Ronin Import Series or the Cup Series, Fluffy has the dominant car, but something like this happens. So you're going to see this 16 car of Fluffy just hammer down, trying to unlap himself, as we got 3x3 going on through this pack.
Yeah, 3 wide in the back, and no one has a better view of it than from the back. As going into turn 1 here, you know, guys are going to be aggressive. They want to be the free pass car lined up.
20 really drove down in there. A little contact with that 22.
22 and 21 make contact in the back of the field. They're still 3 wide, but looks like they were all safe. Remember, the 22 is sitting P5 right now. He is in the 5th position while he is sitting here mauled back in this pack.
Now, if I'm the 22 car, even though you're trapped behind all these lap down cars, I wouldn't be too worried. I mean, we saw the 22 car. He's definitely, he's been one of the only guys who has consistently been in that top 5. And out of all those guys who have consistently been in the top 5, he's the only one who is on the lead lap right now. So he's obviously faster than these guys who are able to pull that strategy and stay on the lead lap at the end of that stage. So if I was 22, I'd say, hey, don't panic, don't use your stuff up, but try to make whatever work you can, these lap cars quickly, and then run down that top 4.
So here is the running order right now. Going to the top 5, they're only the cars in the lead lap. P1, you see right here, Jeremy Keffer. P2 is right now the 12 of Smoke Zmog, right on the bumper of the 7. P3 is the 79 of Trey. He is right now 4th on track as we have a battle for the lead, but we'll handle that in a second. P4, Diesel Rothgeb in the 22, in the middle of the pack, and P5 is all the way back here as we actually, that's Fluffy on pit road. Redleg and P5 kind of way off the pack, but we have Fluffy on pit road, and that is not like it's a scheduled stop. His car has been there for a while, so the 16 of Fluffy might have had an expired engine here.
Ooh. You hate to see it.
You really do. As we have a new leader, the 12 of Smoke Zmog in the black and orange Ford Mustang for Team Penske.
Look at Smoke go. Look at him. You pulled that great strategy there at end of stage 2, and look at that. Talked about it earlier. He made Carnation Cup history over the weekend, and he's up there. He's taking that momentum up there to the 1st position.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest with you, because you got to remember where these guys at who were in the top 5, where they were at for a majority of stage 1 and 2. You had Diesel Rothgeb, mainly 3rd, mainly 4th, around there. Smoke Zmog and Keffer around the 6th, 7th position. And then you have Trey and Redleg, who were around 9th, 10th, 11th. So, I mean, you have guys like, Fluffy's already out of the race, but you guys like Voltage and guys like that who ran top 5 most the majority of the race. Voltage right now sitting P6, and you see him behind Keffer right now. So this should be interesting.
The thing is, too, if you're these guys right now that got trapped a lap down, you're going to see him pushing hard, not just, just trying to be that first car one lap down, but also, these are guys that I believe are faster than the guys who are on the lead lap. So one way to get your lap back, go up there and drive around the leader, unlap yourself, and then hopefully you can catch a caution.
Oh, voltage goes way below the yellow line, or I guess, yeah, way below the yellow line, and to the inside of Keffer. If I'm Keffer, I'm saying, yeah, you go ahead. You know the 20's fast. You know the 20 probably faster. You want to let him go. You ride your second position out, but no, he's going to battle him, actually.
Yeah, definitely. Keffer has some choices to make in how he races these lap cars. Because one, they're not probably going to be racing him all that cleanly. I don't think they're not going to be giving him the most amount of room. He is the one guy that trapped all of these cars a lap down. So,
yeah.
Him, and then also Smoke Z-Mog, because he finished second in that stage. He wasn't necessarily the one that lapped him, but still one of the cars that played that strategy. And I would definitely be frustrated as we see the 21 into the inside wall.
21 around again, Deadpool. Single car spin, second time tonight. And once again, single car spin, no strict cautions on. That will not bring out a yellow.
So right now, our leader of Smoke Z-Mog, he's actually been able to keep this gap between him and the 20 car. It'll be interesting to see, and Sadie mentioned it earlier that Voltage says he doesn't feel like he has the best long run car. So, and if you're also Smoke Z-Mog, that's one of the faster guys. So he's going to try to, he isn't just going to give this 20 car his lap back.
No. So Diesel Rothgable, so he's saving his stuff. At the moment, I would love to see how his car ends up being to this this run here. He should be getting back to that pack, as remember he did last time. He rode a couple seconds off the leader, and then by the time the run ended, he was able to be right on the bumpers of the second and third place cars. So everyone can see what strategy or how the 22 is driving right now compared to his leaders in the 12 and the 7.
Yeah, the other thing too is just keep in mind, even though we have the battle for the lead right now, you also have a battle for that lucky dog spot. You have the 20 car Voltage, but then the 61 car as well.
Yeah, my lucky dog spot, 2 Toyotas. That's nothing we got to keep a track on. Is lucky dog spot, of course, as the 20 has caught the 12 car, him and the 61. So expect these two guys to I'm not going to say get around quickly, but look like they'll pass 12 here in the next coming laps, but pit road should be busy here in about 3 or 4 laps, so that should also play a factor in it.
And as we saw earlier, like that pit window, we saw Keffer, he ran out coming to complete his 19th lap there in stage 2, so you have to think that window is about 16, 17, maybe 18 laps, depending on how some of these guys ran that gear ratio.
Yeah, so it looks like right now, if you're, I guess I'm just going off Kepper, what his gears are, and how he's running. He's right now, of course, full throttle. And if you go all the way on this run, you should be about at, let's see if we can get a number here. So we just hit 5 laps of fuel. Of course, the stream is delayed.
Oh, we got 3 wide right now. You got these 2 lap down cars. They just unlapped themselves. They got around, and look, here comes the 6 car.
Marcus A-Dub also unlaps himself, and the next car there is not for an unlap. And a battle for the lead.
Battle for the lead is coming.
Penske Racing right now, battle for the lead. 22 of Diesel Rothgib and the 12 of Smoke Z-Mog. Looks like Smoke is, I know Smoke ran one for a while. He's a guy who's just, I like to ride where I'm at. I'm in the top 5. I would love to finish top 5, but I'd love to get the win. But we'll take a top 5 here, and it looks like that's what he's doing right now, just riding out in now the 2nd position.
That is, well, tell you what, it's a little bit of good news and bad news right now for those front 3 cars right now. The 20 of Voltage, 61 of A-Trout, and the 6 of Marcus. Good news, they got around the leader. Bad news, the leader is that 22 car, because I honestly believe that while the 12 of Smoke Z-Mog is good, I think the 22 car is better. And look at that, he's going to look inside, possibly make it 3 wide, but he's going to try to put these cars back a lap down.
And I do hate to say this, Lotus pit road should be busy here, as it's already busy, but these guys who have already pit will not be able to make it on one more stop, and that is the 60 of Red Leg and the... Come on, switch. Oh, one car. Mark Z-Dub in the grass. Right 20
the
pits.
20 car is falling down as well.
61, 6, 19. Team Toyota, along with Mark Z-Dub, brings their machines down pit road.
Tell you what, this is some strategy right now. Think about it. They are short pitting, and as we know how valuable new tires are, if they can short pit here, even just one lap, maybe two, they can gain about a second, maybe 2 seconds ahead of that leader. That is exactly why they are pitting right now.
These three right here, you see Diesel Rothgib, Smoke Zemog, and Jerem Keffer. These are your top three. All these three of these guys run lead lap, and you see back there in your top of your screen a couple seconds ago, that was the Trey in the 79 making his green flag pit stop, it appears. But these three, this is what I was talking about. So if they would have stretched it all the way on fuel, they would have went to 35 to go. Coming out with 35 to go, it looks like. Should be pitting this time, actually. Coming out with 35 to go. Remember, stage 2 was 19 laps, and only one guy went all 19 laps, and that was Keffer. So if it's going to be 17 and 17, around there, 17, 18 one time, it's going to be some interesting strategy. But it looks like these three will be the front runners for the finish of this race.
Are they all coming together, it looks like.
Jerem Keffer 4% on the right rear as he entered pit road, so very close to blowing that right rear tire. But the Penske crew, that's one thing you gotta love about Penske. They love to just keep the races calm and make sure they're good for the long run and good for tires. So should be interesting how all these cars come out of pit road. As it looks like the 7 and the 22 might have got their pit stop slowed down a little bit as the 21 was coming out as they were coming in.
Yeah. So I think right now between these three, I definitely believe the car that has the best car right now is that 22. But I think is Smoke going to beat them off pit road? Oh, that is huge. That is huge right now. That 12 car beat the 22 off.
The 7 car had a 16.4 second pit stop, which for you guys who play NASCAR E4 very frequently, you know that pit stop is no bueno. Good pit stop is around. A good pit stop is anywhere from, I'd say 15 flat to 15.4, 15.5. That's good. 14 second and 14.9 and lower.
Tell you what, though, look at the lead that, these 4 cars right here, we mentioned earlier, they short pitted, and right now all 4 of them, the 6 of Market, 61 of A-Trap, 20 of Voltage, and the 19 of NOCO, or sorry, that usually is the 19 of NOCO, but the 19 of Pat's Ace, they're in front of the leader right now, on the tail end of the lead lap. But the 12 car, he has the freshest tires right now. He's going to be able to catch up to these guys easily, as he's already going around the 19 car of Pat's. These guys are desperately praying for a caution.
Yeah, see right now, this is even though he is 4th in line, Smoke Zemog is your leader. With right there is a couple seconds back to the 22 Rothgib. Oh, the 61 left a door open for the 12, and didn't think the 12 would make that move. But anyway, the 12 will now lap the 61.
Yeah, look at this. Here we go. He's going to go right on the inside of the 6 car Vargas. He is making quick work of these lap cars right now. Right now, the 20 car of Voltage. He was a lone car. He slipped up a little bit. All those cars that took the strategy of short pitting. So basically throwing away the chance of, maybe making it only one more stop at, this race. They may possibly, but, that's a strategy that they had to take, being trapped 1 lap down, and they're all having to fight for the lucky dog again. So right now, just going to go through the field again real quick. Right now, your leader is the 12 car, Smoke Zemog, followed second by the 22 car of Diesel. All those cars right now behind Diesel, they are all trapped a lap down from pit strategy at the end of stage 2. So you got those 4 cars right there fighting extremely hard to get to the free pass. It's 3 wide. Halfway down the back straight, the 19 car is going to look to maybe make it 4 wide, but 6 car gives the 61 just a little bit of a shove. The 19 car all the way down the apron. This is phenomenal racing right now for this free pass spot. Again, just going through the field again. The leader right now is a 12 car of Smoke Z-Mog, 22 car of Diesel in second. Then back from them about 4 seconds back from the leader, Smoke Z-Mog, is the 7 car of JRM Keffer. He is in third. And then I believe you got Trey, who is sitting in fourth. He's sitting about another 2 or 3 seconds back. Right now they're on 28 laps to go. Yeah, I apologize, guys. I'm not quite sure where Slade went, but luckily it looks like he left the camera on the leader. And that is the 12 car Smoke Z-Mod. Mentioned earlier, he was actually a sleeper pick earlier in this race. He started about mid-pack around the 9th position. Got caught up towards the back a little bit, but he's one of the guys who's been able to go the farthest there so far in this race as far as having a larger pit window, and that's definitely given him the option for the lead right now, and I believe we have Mr. Slade back.
All right, that is an incident what I call putting in Workman. Workman does the broadcast by himself for about 3 minutes while I go do something. I texted you. I was like, Workman, just go for about 5 minutes. Got you, bud.
Okay.
That's a new segment I call putting in a Workman.
Yeah, and you know, I was kind of thinking, we should have just made it like a Crank It Up segment.
We should have done that. Yeah, that would have been genius. Anyway, that'll be that for future broadcasts.
They've strung out a little bit, but just a few laps ago, we had a crazy battle for that free pass spot. We had guys 3 wide, 4 wide, and everything. If you were seeing these guys right now, you would think they would be racing for the lead right now.
So hopefully I kept the camera on him. I was like, let me just put on the broadcast camera. I'll be back. Hopefully I kept it on though. But as Workman said, these guys are starting to come toward the fact where we'll see pit cycles in the next 4 or 5 laps or so. But right now, it's a Penske race right now. It's a 12 Smoke Z-Mog and P1, P2, the team owner, Diesel Rothkib. Diesel would love to get a win, but Smoke Z-Mog, I mean, he would love to get his first one here in the Running Reports National Series. But Diesel's going to take that from him for the time being as Rothkib to the lead.
Definitely, so it definitely looks like Z-Mog, he has the best short run car. About the first half of the run, Z-Mog, he is great in there. But once we get to about lap 10, lap 11 of the run, this is where this 22 car shines. He was about a second, maybe second and a half off of Z-Mog, and he's been able to run him down. And if you're in that 12 car Smoke Z-Mog right now, he can obviously go just a little bit longer than that 22 car. We saw it there at the end of stage 2. He's one of the few cars that was able to make it to the end of this stage. So if I was him, I'd come in as soon as that window was open, take advantage of that short run speed that he has, and then hopefully, beat the 22 car, being able to, since he has the best long run car. But if he can at least stay on the bumper of this 22 car, definitely pose a real threat.
Yep, so Jeremy Keffer right in the 3rd position. He is, you see in the top of your screen right there, he was behind the cars who are a lap down. We'll have to pit. He will come into the pits at 18 to go, and he'll come out with 17 to go. So fuel strategy could even play a factor in this race for the finishing order, as already you have the 61 of H-Route bringing his Toyota Supra. That's a Camry.
Yep, he was one of the 4 cars fighting for that lucky dog spot. So it looks like he's maybe going to try to pull that same strategy again. Definitely outside the fuel window to make it from here, but he's just going to short pit here and hopefully try to unlap himself here by short pitting, taking advantage of some newer tires. And it looks like the 19 car may be motioning to come down this time as well.
On the 20, I thought the 20 kind of missed the commitment cone there, a commitment line, but it looks like he made it in there safely. So that means two more lap down cars will bring their machines down pit road, and you see now nothing but real estate behind the 12 and the 22. The 7 looks like he might be trying to save some stuff here and get all the way to the very end of this fuel run.
Yeah, tell you what, this is just a big game right now of cat and mouse. And tell you what, if I was that 12 of Z-Log right now, I'd be saving right now too. You know, I try to be like, you know, hey, you know, maybe just barely made it 19 laps in stage 1, or sorry, not in stage 1, but in stage 2. Save a little bit, so maybe I only have to go 18 laps at this final run, maybe only 17 laps. I mean, it's not just the final run where you could be saving stuff.
12 is pretty slow. No, he's fine. Never mind. Just backing up his corners. Maybe trying to save a little gas, as Workman said, but should be very interesting. The 7 not down pit road yet. He is also not pit yet. We're looking for the 79 of Trey and the 60 of Red Leg. Red Leg just came out of the pits. Trey is now making his pits.
And they're on 18 to go. This time they're coming to 17 to go, so if I was this 12 car, I'd be pitting right now. Right now, both of them are going to pit. Both of them are going to pit. It's going to be a race off pit road. Oh, look, great job. I hope he didn't speed right there. He did. Smoke did a phenomenal job closing to the back bumper of that 22 car. If he did not speed, that was a perfect pit road entry for that 12 car.
So it looked like they entered about the same speed, but he just closed in so much on him. We'll be looking for the 12 car's perspective, as his pit box is sooner. So this will be a great view. We will be watching the invisible pit crew of the 12 car do their thing.
7 car came down with them as well, so top 3 all on pit road right here.
Yep, and they're at the fuel window. They should be good on fuel, but now it's just all about tires.
Oh, 12 cars off. 12 cars off. Can he get past this 22? Oh,
and
it
he
looks
does.
Like
Z-Mog once again with a great pit road entry and a great pit stop.
To the front. All right. So here we go. We've already found out the 12 car. He has the best short run speed car right now. Can he hold off that 22 car of Diesel? I think he can. I think that, you know, he was able to keep pace with that 22 once he got around him. So it's going to be an incredible finish we're going to have here.
Yep, so it only looks like it'll be a 2-car battle at the moment. Keffer's going to need some these guys to maybe run out of fuel, blow a tire for him to get up there. But it's a Penske race, it looks like, and she's behind the 61 of A-Trout, guaranteed another pit stop. 1 lap down in the 6th position.
Yeah, they're on 16 laps to go right now. I think they should definitely be able to make it to the end of this race, no problem. Only guys that shouldn't be able to make it are some of those lap down cars who maybe tried to pit earlier to try to unlap themselves somewhat. But those should be the only guys that would have to pit, I believe. I think this top 3 right now will be good to go to the end, so should be interesting.
Great thing about this is there's 2 people right now in a situation where it's going to be a win-win for either of them. First, Diesel Rothgeb, the fact that either he's going to win the race or his car is going to win the race, 12 Smooth Z-Mod, or me, because I picked Diesel to win and Smoke was my sleeper. So no matter what, it's a win-win for me, whoever finishes where.
Well, definitely, and tell you what, I mean, I'm going to mention here a little bit too, but that driver right there in first place right now, Smoke Z-Mod, he is on my Carnation Cup team, Nocturne Hero Motorsports, and mentioned already, he became the first driver in history in the 4 seasons of that series to sweep both of the lower division and the Cup Series on the same weekend. So it doesn't matter what leagues you're in. If you pull something off like that in a series, that momentum is going to carry over. As he got held up a little bit by a lap car, but he stayed up high there. This is something, that young man right now, he's got to have all types of nerves going through him right now. I know we're supposed to be commentators, Slave, but I'm kind of cheering on that 12 car right now.
I mean, you got to think about me, too. Me and Smoke started in on Heat Evolution, started in the same league on Heat 2. I'm kind of ashamed to say this. It was Stability On. I'm going to say it right now. We both started in Stability On League. Yes, I didn't know how to change the setting. Then we moved to the Impact Racing League along with guys like Voltage and Keffer, and met them, and that's how we kind of got started. But Smoke Z-Mog is 14. We can't stress that enough. Like, I get called young and all that at 17. This kid is 14 years old out here running first, running good with all these pro leaguers. So,
and look who he's holding off. He's having to hold off the pro league driver for the Penske team on the PlayStation side. I mean, tell you what, he is definitely showing that, he's definitely making a case that, hey, you don't need to be 16 years old to, show that you're one of the best here on NASCAR esports. He is getting it done. He has, and for 14 years old, he has such a high maturity level right now. And right now, I think it's about the point in the run where that 22 car is starting to close in on him a little bit, but he is doing an amazing job right now.
Of course, as we are right now, we are coming to 10 to go. And I hate to say it, but this is usually the point in time where that 22 starts gaining on the 12.
A little bit there. Here's the thing: if you're the 12 car, just hit your lines. As hard as it is to try to ignore that rear view mirror of that 22 car, you got to hold your line. Like right here, he's kind of drifting up a little bit. He can't give that bounce to that 22 car.
Yep, here comes the battle right now with 10 to go. Penske teammates, the 12 of Smoke Z-Mog, 22 of Diesel Rothke. And you see Smoke's going to kind of pinch him, but he cannot hold that line coming up turn
forward.
Up
a little bit on that center. He's going to get a little bit of a run here. He's got to get down that quarter panel and try to side draft. But look at that 22 car. He's actually getting a little bit of that draft off of that 21 car.
Yep, some lap traffic could be playing a factor.
He's going to drive it. He's going to drive it in on this outside. 12 of Smoke is not giving up.
Smoke on that high side, Diesel on the low side. They both have the 21 in front. 21 goes to the high side. That's going to make the 12 go lower.
He's going to try crossover right here. He's peeking low. Oh, he's on the inside.
12 has the quarter panel on the 22.
Look at that.
And leading the lap will be the 12 as we now have 8 to go in the Bluegrass State 300 at Kentucky, and the 12 of Smoke Z-Mog will regain the lead.
What an amazing piece of driving from the 12 of Smoke Z-Mog right now. It looked like that 22 car is going to go by him with these, and he's trying another crossover. We just got crossovers happening all over this racetrack.
Yep, 22 back to the inside. 12 trying to hold that top side. He just cannot hold that lane. Come off turn 4 very well. Almost into the wall. Supposed to get a good run here. This lap's going to be led by Diesel Rothke. 7 to go.
Tell you what, they're not really getting...
Oh, contact the 12. Got into the 22. That will make him lose a couple of tenths. He's got to regain, regroup, and get back at it.
Yeah, he's just got to focus here. Hey, you're still in that draft a little bit. And, we saw before they came and pit that last time that, about 3-4 laps before they came down the pit road, that 12 car, he found just a little bit of something. And I think he can find that. Look, he already closed up again in that corner.
6 to go here at Kentucky. Smoke Z-Mog, the young 14-year-old, not giving up to his team owner, the 22 of Diesel Rothke.
Holding a pretty nice line on that inside right now. Getting it right up to the back bumper of him.
Going into turn 3, the 22. Looks like he's going to enter lower right on that yellow line as opposed to the 12 who's a little bit higher. But the 12, he's decided he's going to exit a little lower this time.
They both drove it in pretty hard right now, but Diesel had just a little bit better center of the corner, a little bit extra, but 12 car has some great entry and straightaway speed.
5 laps to go to decide it all right here. And this is usually these races come down to just Fluffy leading and dominating. But we have a great battle here between teammates and car owner and driver here in the Running Imports National Series. But as they come out turn 4, it's going to be 4 to go.
And look at, whether or not Smoke Z-Mog wins this race, this kid, he's got to take this as a win. He's fighting up there one-on-one with not only his team owner, but the Pro League driver for Penske Esports, and he's putting on a show right now.
One thing you got to remember as well, point standings, we haven't posted them in a while on the Twitter, but I believe coming to this race, Smoke Z-Mog was in the 3rd position in standings, if I'm not mistaken. 3rd or 4th, I can't remember. I know Fluffy's 1st, I think Voltage was 2nd. No, Kepper's 2nd, Voltage's 3rd, Smoke's 4th, that's right. But anyway, he's the first non-Pro League driver in the standings, which is just incredible for him for how the season's been. Right now we have 3 to go, and I think he's just sitting here. I think he's just sitting here hoping a 22 makes a mistake.
So you know what? Like, I think one part of the racetrack I'm looking at is this exit of 2 and his entry to 1. I think that is his part of the racetrack right now. But remember, he made that crossover last time in 3 and 4 until 22 got around him again. But look at 22, just a little bit better right there. He's able to gap him on corner exit. Right now, coming to 2 to go.
2 laps to go. A little unnecessary, not unnecessary, but cars who did have to go another time. They are pitting right now. So guys who were a lap down, maybe trying to get that top 5, they'll be pitting for a second time, losing more laps. But that doesn't matter right now. Smoke Zimog in the 12, just sitting there, waiting for the 22 to make a mistake, or he's waiting for this last lap.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, if I was him right now, I would time that pass coming off of turn 2. That has been his part of the racetrack. So here we go, 1 to go. Come on, baby.
1 to go, sponsored by Speedway Collective. Can the 12 get it done? Or will the 22 win the race? It's going to be a Penske finish.
He's going to go. A little bit of a bumper. He's looking. Oh, he's right there.
Oh, we got a little bit loose in the center of the corner. Dietz going to pull about half a tenth there. Smoke Zimog down the backstretch. One final turn.
Oh, he goes wide a little bit. Here he comes on the inside.
Diesel goes high. 12
he's going to get on the bumper.
Cannot do anything with it off of turn 4. Zimog's going to get second.
Oh.
But it's going to be Diesel Rothgeb picking up the win at Kentucky for Team Penske. And guess who's probably the happiest person right now?
Oh my goodness.
That is me, because I picked both these people to do good. But anyway, fantastic finish by these Penske guys. Your finishing order goes Diesel Rothgeb P1, Smoke Zimog P2, JRM Keffer, as we said, kind of a quiet man today, won stage 2 with some strategy, finishes P3. Redleg is 1 lap down. Oh, we just said Redleg is P5, 1 lap down. So the last car on the lead lap was this man, the 79 of Trey. The last car on the lead lap will finish P4, Redleg P5. The 9 car from the back will get P6. P7 goes to Marcus, who is 1 lap down. The first car 2 laps down goes to Deadpool P8, P9 H-Route, P10 Voltage. One of the better cars today. 2 laps down, P10. He did have to pit again. What a finish, though. What a finish. You just couldn't. I mean, it's been a while since we've had a finish like that in the Xfinity Series, if I'm not mistaken.
I guess like 2 weeks ago, yeah, it was because of like a mix of strategy, but you know, we had a last corner pass last week when
I forgot about that.
Keffer popped those right side tires, a fluffy got off the last corner, and you know, this week we have the current pro leaguer in Diesel up there, and dare I say, future pro leaguer in a couple of years here in Smoke Zimog. So great showing of NASCAR Esports current and NASCAR Esports future right there.
Yeah, so the fastest lap in the lobby who was still in there was Smoke Zimog with a 30.571. Fantastic lap time. And I believe the pole time was around that, if I'm not mistaken. It was like a 5, around that, like a 5, which is crazy.
Yeah, and it was by Fluffy.
It was by Fluffy, so here we go. We're going to okay, so usually when I do this, I have to go to a custom car and just pretend. But here we go, guys. We're going to... I have to go to blue screen. Sorry, guys. Wish we had an ad right here. Brought to you by Team MBN. Just pretend it's right there. So top 3 went like... Let me try to remember... Corey, Zimog, Keffer. Fantastic finish. We're going to get... We couldn't have worked right there because we're on blue screen. Usually, guys, we have Hyper or someone else as the party host, but because of how it ended, I ended up being the party host. So we're going to go Diesel Rothgeb first interview. Sorry, my mind for a second. Then we're going to go Mr. Smoke Zimog, and then Jerem Keffer will get the 3rd interview. First of all, everyone joining, congrats on your top 3s. Make sure your party audio is set to allow, please, before we start. We're going to start with Rothgeb. Are you ready? Are you ready, Mr. Moneyline here? All right, Diesel Rothgeb, driver number 22, Moneyline Ford Mustang for Team Penske. What a finish. We were sitting here going crazy in the booth. It was kind of, I'm not going to say we were against Diesel, but me and Workman both kind of have a connection to Smoke Zimog that's stronger than usual. But nice win, though, man. You seem to have probably out of the guys who... were able to have that strategy in stage 2. you obviously didn't do the save fuel strategy. You seemed to pit for fuel only. Is that correct?
I took 2. I think a couple guys back there took 4, which is what ended up trapping them a lap down.
Yep. So 2 tires got Diesel Rothgeb to have the free pass in stage 2, and that ultimately got him the win. First of all, Diesel, congrats on your win. And tell us about your day here at Kentucky.
Yeah, started out front. Honestly, I think Fluffy lagged out there, unfortunately, but I think we were pretty even. We were running right nose to tail. I might have been a little better than him on the beginning of the run. He might have been a little better on the end of the run, but we were pretty close. And then, we got separated a little bit in traffic, but we were still running the same lap times. He didn't really pull away from me. And then he lagged out, unfortunately, but I think he was trapped a lap down anyway after that. I knew Keffer was going to do the fuel saving, and he could probably make it because he almost made it the first stage, which was like 20-something laps. So I knew he could make it 19.
22.
So I knew I had to take 2 tires there just to have a chance to try to stay on the lead lap. That's what I did. Was fortunate to get the lucky dog. And then third stage kind of got shuffled back a little bit. It was a little hectic because being the lucky dog, obviously I had to start behind all the lap down cars. And then, so I was running, I think at one point I was a 6th car on track running in the 3rd position.
Mm-hmm.
But Smoke had a great car there at the end. Looked like he made some adjustments that really tuned his up, and we were about even again there at the end. I think he might have got me on entry a little more, and then there was 3 and 4. I could get him on exit a little bit in the shorter run. Long run, I think he had a better car, but it's pretty hard to pass if you can hold the line, especially down in 3 and 4.
Yeah,
so it looks like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You go ahead. I've been talking a lot. You go ahead.
Yeah, very good. Diesel Workman here. I was gonna say, man, that was an incredible battle between you and Smoke there at the end. I mean, just give us, your perspective. Obviously, one like the big audiences that NASCAR and esports is trying to get. Are these younger audiences? So you being a pro leaguer, what is it like? Racing these younger gamers right now, Smoke Z-Mod only being 14. I mean, what is that like being able to race that hard with obviously the future of NASCAR esports?
Young squad.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing with esports is age isn't really a factor. You can be 60-something, 70-something and still playing video games if you're up to it, or you can be younger than that. It doesn't really require having an age limit. But a lot of young talent that's fast out there, and I think you saw that tonight.
Could have said any better myself. But congrats on your P1 finish. Is that your first win for Ronin Imports National Series this season? Or was that second?
No, probably.
Well,
I've
okay,
only
that was
ran
a very confident answer right there, and your race winner. Anyway, congrats on your win there, Mr. Diesel. This was Diesel Rothgib, driver number 22, Money Lion, Team Penske, Ford Mustang. Congrats on your win. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, all right. First of all, I guess I gotta make this disclaimer again. Make sure your party audios are set to allow Mr. Keffer and Z-Mog before we start here for y'all's interviews. Z-Mog, you good? Mr. P2?
Yes, sir.
All right, Smoke Z-Mog. I gotta switch. God, of course you're in the 12 custom car. I gotta go to Blaney Cup. Just pretend it's an Xfinity car, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. But Smoke Z-Mog, man, yeah, you should have heard me and old Workman over here. We were going crazy those last 10 laps. Because of course, me and you started racing back on Heat Evolution Heat 2, and Workman, you drive for him in the Carnation Cup League. And that was talked a lot during our broadcast, to say the least, how good you did this past weekend. But to talk us through your race, man, it looked like you rode mid-pack, kind of like 6th, 7th for most of the race. When the strategy came out to it, you were able to get second in stage 2. And then seemed to be the front-running car for a while until the 22 got out of the pack. Just tell us about your race, man.
Yeah, it started off kind of slow. Got caught up in a couple messes in stage 1. Kind of got caught in the back there. Stage 2, that big the wreck happened, and there wasn't caution. So that's when I just knew I just needed to save. And like you said, got second in stage 2. And then stage 3, got past Keffer in the beginning of it, and then just kind of rode around for a while, holding the lead. And then when Diesel got to me, it was just a 3-car race between me, Keffer, and him, and that was a lot of fun. And then as stage progressed on, it just went down to me and Diesel, and then he came out on top.
Go ahead, Workman.
Yes.
I know you want to say a lot about this.
Yeah, Smoke, man, you didn't. I'll be honest, you didn't look like a 14-year-old out there. You looked like one of these guys, one of these pro leaguers out there who had years and years of experience on here. I mean, let me just ask you, between what you were able to pull off this weekend, Incarnation Cup history you made over there. You're right now you're the highest running non-pro leaguer here in this series. And tonight you went toe-to-toe with one of the best pro leaguers on the PS4 side. Just all the success you've had across NASCAR esports. So what does this do for your confidence level going forward?
Definitely raises it up. Me knowing that I can compete with these guys is really big for me because Diesel, also a really fast guy. He was really hard to try and pass tonight along with Keffer and all the other esports guys. So, yeah, you could say it was definitely a confidence boost.
Definitely. Man, we were going absolutely crazy for you, man. Congrats on the second place, and that was amazing to watch, buddy. Congrats.
Thank you, appreciate you guys.
Yep. About to say, oh my god, cause it was funny because it was like, was he still here, Smoke?
Yeah.
It was funny because I was like, I think with 12 to go, I said, who's the only person right now who does not care who does good or where they finish out of these two? And I said, as like me, because I picked Diesel as to win and Smoke as my sleeper. So if these guys finish 1-2, I'm coming out with a win-win no matter what. But yeah, congrats on your win, second place. Sorry, I just kind of botched that. With congrats on your second place finish, dude. That was Smoke Z-Mog, driver number 12. Ford Mustang, I forgot his sponsor. In the Running Imports National Series. Thank you for your time. Congrats on your second place finish once again.
Thanks, guys.
And finally, the man that made that finish. Mr. JRM Keffer, is your mic set to always allow?
Yep.
Technically the man who made the finish. Voided, did you get caught up in that wreck at stage 2? I think you got like a part of it, if I remember correctly.
I was able to dodge the 21, but I think it was the 5 was trying to miss it too, and then I kind of.
It was a 12 actually. It was a 12 actually, if I remember correctly.
I couldn't tell what number it was, but I know like the 21 was sliding down the track, and I was going low, so missed that. But then kind of ran to the back of whatever car that was avoiding it too. They got the worst of that. I never have any luck. I guess I had a little bit there that my car didn't go spinning it stayed straight. So that was crazy. But probably should have been a yellow there. But
But yeah, how was tell us about your race? Tell about your race though, dude. I mean, you won stage 2 obviously the strategy in that incident. In stage 3, you seem to have a pretty good car. Led a good bit of laps there to start the stage 3, and kind of look like you just rode around and just were content with the third place finish. Tell us about your overall day.
Yeah, stage 1, I tried the strategy. I knew it was going to be close. I knew it was going to be close on fuel. I wasn't even paying attention to my tire, so then I blew a tire. And I was like, well, that sucks on the last lap. But I'd already stayed out past 2 to go, so I knew I was committed on that. Luckily, it was on the last lap, so I didn't lose a lap there. But didn't work. That was 22 laps, so when it was 19 laps, I knew that I could make it. I'm actually surprised more people didn't try to stay out. I mean, anybody who races with me knows that if there's strategy to play, I'm going to usually try to do it.
That's it, yeah.
And I really didn't have to save. I mean, the last couple laps, it was, a little bit stressful because the tires were getting low and the fuel was low, but I knew we were going to make it. So I know Diesel was smart there to take 2 tires. So I was really hoping to lap almost the entire field, But and then stage 3, we got out there, ran a little bit. The car was okay on the beginning. The middle of the run, it kind of was like, eh. And then towards the end, it would pick back up. But I just, once they got around, they had a little bit of time there. Then we pitted, and it was good. And they beat me on pit road pretty good. And then we came on a pit road, and I ran into the back of my teammate. So I think he didn't know it was coming there, and I went to the outside and ran into the back of him, so I lost a good 3-4 seconds there, and I just never could get it back, so I just, like you said, I was pretty much content with riding where I was. Maybe they would wreck or something, who knows, but third place, I think So far, I finished in the top 5 in all Xfinity races, so we'll take it. Should put me in the points lead, I would think.
Yeah,
Take
it
it.
was a I think Fluffy had the points lead. So after his DNF today, should be up there. I believe you were P2.
Yeah, it was a second, only like 10 or 11 points behind. So,
Workman, do you have any questions, comments, or concerns of for our third place finisher here?
Keffer, I think you have definitely been established as the crazy guy, the aggressive guy, the guy that's like, hey, I don't care what happens. I'm just gonna see what strategy I can pull here, see if it ends up good or not.
yeah.
But yeah, you're just pulling that strategy there. Beginning of stage 1 there. Were you just trying to necessarily see how far you could go in that stage, like to set the tone for the rest of the race, or what are you doing?
Stage 1 or stage 2?
Stage 1.
Stage 1, yeah. Well, we take the green flag, and you can see how many laps, a fuel we got, and how many laps to go. So I knew, like, okay, you gotta save 3 laps, and then, I'm using the clutch and shifter and whatnot, so I can save a little, like the whole pace lap. We're not burning fuel really, and I definitely wanted to see how far we could go. I thought we might be able to make it. There was a couple laps there. I was like, I don't know, but I was like, you know what? If we can at least make it to the last lap, worst case scenario, we don't win the stage, but we don't go a lap down. I actually thought I was going to make it, and then, like I said, I was so focused on the fuel, I wasn't paying attention to the right rear, and it blew. And I had the screen up the whole time, just never looked at it, so that kind of surprised me. Worried me a little bit in the second stage, knowing there was 19 laps instead of 22, but luckily it didn't blow. Actually, I think we had about 10% left on the right rear when we took the checkered in the stage 2. So then I kind of carried over to stage 3, where it was, all right, how many laps are going to be left, how many pit stops is going to be. I mean, I think what you saw was where Diesel, Smoke, and I all pitted. Like, you pretty much had to go that far to make it on, 2 stops? Anything shorter than that. So, we're really stretching it there, honestly, to make it to that point to save a pit stop. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, some tracks I feel like I'm really good at, and I'll just kind of get there and race. But even if there's strategy to play, I'll try to determine, what the best strategy is. Tonight, Kentucky's a track that I like, but if you kind of miss the setup a little bit and other guys are really hitting it, you got to just kind of like go to plan B, which is strategy. What I did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know, like, kind of trapped a lot of those guys a lap down for the rest of the night, but I don't think if you had not done that strategy, we may have not seen that finish between the 22 and the 12. So
maybe not.
I don't know if thank you is in order, but
I'm trying to think, because I was thinking about that.
But yeah, that was, hey, another great strategy, and outside the box strategy by some, and you ended up with the top 3.
That's 2 races in a row. Strategy scored me a top 3 at just 2 tracks that really aren't good for me. So we'll take it.
Of course. This is JRM Keffer, driver number 7, Chevy Camaro for JRM Motorsports. Thank you for your time, and congrats on your 3rd place finish.
Thank you.
All right, well, that closes it out here in Kentucky. Workman, first of all, we're going to get final thoughts here after what we just saw. I don't know how many so laps. The great final 10 laps. That's definitely will be a big part of discussion. We'll try to get those at least final 3 on the Twitter tomorrow or tonight. But Workman, go us through your race breakdown.
Yeah, so obviously, anytime, sitting out here, whether just being a spectator or a driver, like whenever we have these back-to-back races where the same track is being run in the Ronin Series and the Pocono Raceway Cup Series, it never hurts to watch or compete in these things because there's always just so much that you can learn. Obviously, those Cup cars are going to drive different tomorrow night than these Xfinity cars, but strategy was definitely the big key for tonight, and I think that's going to be exactly the same thing tomorrow night.
Because I was thinking for the race tonight, I think there was, if I remember correctly, of course, 4 cars on the lead lap. I think, what was it? The top 7 or 5th through 7th was a lap down. So I think there would have been 2 more cars into the factor if they didn't save fuel, that's it. It would have been a 7-car race if there was no fuel strategy involved. Maybe even less. Maybe the guys who did save fuel at the first who weren't that good, but straight off speed would have not made it. But 7 cars would have been the max for today because it was only a lap down. I think that also adds. I forgot who it was. I don't think any Toyotas would have made it in for that battle. But yeah, still strategy, still played a part in the final stage, even if there wasn't any in stage 2. But so that was, you could say that was the point of tonight's race was strategy, but then you had that fantastic final 14 laps between the 12 and the 22. I think it's going to be the story for the night's race.
You have absolutely, anytime you can see the present and the future of NASCAR heat going at it one-on-one, it just shows that, the future of NASCAR esports and the future of NASCAR heat in general, it's going to be around for quite a while, man. I know, looks like leagues and on NASCAR online racing, everything, it's going to be here for quite a while. We got quite the range of talent, all the way from 12, 13, 14-year-olds all the way up to guys at their 50s and 60s, whenever. It's a great platform to be on right now.
As I was thinking of that finishing order, you have kind of, in all age groups, you have 14-year-old Smoke Z-Mog in P2, you have 24-year-old Diesel Rothgeb P1, and you have 33, 34-year-old JRM Keffer in P3. So I thought that was pretty interesting stat, to say the least. But all ages were represented here today, as the broadcast consists of 17 and a 22 on. How old are you, Workman?
22. Yeah, no,
22.
Right.
I got it right. I was. Yeah, you could tell the confidence in that 22. But yeah, so tonight's race theme, I mean, strategy, but then also a great finish between all ages. But with that, sorry, I don't know why I got sidetracked there. But with that, that's going to close out this broadcast tonight, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, everybody who stayed around for all hour and a half, 2 hours, around an hour 45 minutes of this broadcast. I want to thank y'all once again for tuning in for the Running Imports National Series. Couldn't thank everybody Running Imports enough, and also everybody at Speedway Collective for sponsoring our default series, and Pocono Raceway for being an affiliate with our Cup Series. But this has been Cody Workman and Slade Gravett, and we'll catch y'all next Monday. It's a bye week. Never mind. It is a bye week. I was doing fantastic with that transfer. Why is it a bye week? Is it a bye week?
Hey, it's live TV, everybody. Welcome to the real world.
Hold up. Did I mess that up? I botched it. Okay, bye week next week. So in 2 weeks, you will hear from us once again. Next week is our All-Star race for the Cup Series. The Xfinity Series will have a bye week. That does not mean you won't see a couple guys maybe from our Xfinity Series get a chance to be in that. But in 2 weeks, we'll be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for that. But like I said, this has been C. Workman, Slade J84. You guys have a great night. Make sure to tune tomorrow night at around 9:30 Eastern Standard Time for the Cup race at Kentucky, which should be just a good show. Have a good night.